guys, so I am just going to go over the two main things that everyone's talking about, and that's the Scolia and the Omni. So obviously I've got both, I use both, and you know, I do get some messages, which one's better, and you see a lot in social media, which one's better, what should I go for, the Omni or should I go for the Scolia? So I'm just going to break this down and what I think, my opinion, it's just my opinion on the dark scoring system, which one I think people should preferably get, just due to the experience and use that I've had with both systems. So we'll talk about the Scolia first. Now I've had the Scolia home first, had that polystyrene ring with the 3 cameras with the moving heads on it. Didn't really like it that much because I kept on having to recalibrate it, and you know, if you nudge that head, you have to put it back, and you know, it was a pain in the butt. But when I had it as well, there was not a lot of folk using the online system, and it was very difficult to try and get games because there wasn't a lot of people using the Scolia at that point. So I did what everyone else does. I got rid of it, right? Because I'm not using it, there's no one on it, and that was the end of it. So a year down the line, I think it's a year, who knows, everyone's using the Scolia system, everyone on TikTok's using the Scolia system, and then I thought, you know what, there's more people using the Scolia, so I decided to get the Scolia 2. What I didn't realise was you had to buy the one more plasma light to go with it, because it doesn't fit on any other ring light, and that's the downside with the Scolia 2, Home 2, is that you have to buy the plasma ring light. So that kind of miffed me off a little bit because I've got quite a few ring lights, obviously the brand sent me ring lights, and I thought it should be compatible or near enough, and it just wasn't, and I thought that was a bit of a cheap shot by Scolia to, like, you're paying for this expensive equipment and you're having to pay for a ring light on separate thing as well. It's just, you know, I didn't like that. I just felt that was a cheap move. But anyway, got it set up. Now the only thing I didn't like about it as well is you have to screw into the wall. I thought it was flexible, you know, attach it to the ring like the Home one, and so you can take it down, up and down. Is like, it's easy to put up and down in case like you got it hanging on the door, for instance. So this, you kind of limited, you have to put up in a wall, and that's it, up there permanently. So with that, you know, I tried going back online, done the whole calibration and went online, and it's still the same. There's more people in the lobby, but yet no one's playing. There's like, could be 60 plus people in there, you know, people waiting for games and people playing games, and no one's want to play. I even invite people into games, doesn't happen. You got a group chat in the right hand corner, the lobby page as well, and you see a lot of people saying game, aiming for game. I don't quite understand that, but anyway, it is what it is. Occasionally I will get a game, and you know what, it works majority of the time. I like to focus on my darts and just throwing. I don't use a camera with it. It's just case of, you know, it's a trust game at this point, and I'm hoping that your opponent, because I just play how I play, and you're just hoping that your opponent is playing how they should play, and you just have a good game. But at times as well, that I notice, and it's still an issue, even with a Home Scolia 2, I'm not too sure about the Pro, is the not reading your darts in the bed segments, which, you know, you're throwing, you throw, and there's a pause, and you look at your screen and you see, you know, it's got the 1 and the 5, but you know, it's not hit that 20. It's not marked to 20, even though you've hit the big 20. So you're having to put that data in. Your opponent has to read it because they get to see your board now, and they've got to approve it, even though it's clear as day. And I don't understand why the camera doesn't read it. It's a distraction. You know, it's one of those distractions that I really don't like, and it happens quite a lot with the Scolia. You know, even if you're close grouping, it doesn't register all 3 darts. And if you're in a match game and you hit that double segment and you're like, yes, and you're board, Scolia doesn't read it. You know, it's like having to wait for approval, and your opponent could be like, well, doesn't look in it and just decline it, even though you can see it's in. It's one of those pain in the butts. I don't like it. It's just really annoying now, and I wish Scolia would sort that. Whether if they had 4 cameras instead of the 3, and get a better diameter graph off the board, I don't know, because the Scolia relies on the number rings as well. So you have to make sure you've got a decent number ring on. You can't use the little, I think it's the Target Aspa little number painted rings. You have to have like a big ring for it to really register it. The good thing about the Scolia though is the tournament side of it. I mean, there's got loads of tournaments. If you like tournaments, it is definitely the one place to go for tournaments. And I've seen online there's cash tournaments and just tournaments, and you can make your own tournaments up. So I think the Scolia has done good with that. They've created a tournament league thing where you can just go into tournaments and spend half your day playing tournaments and get that golden trophy. Right, so as for the Omni, now I've been using that for the last, I don't know, month. It is completely different from the Scolia. It has 4 cameras, Scolia's got 3. It doesn't rely on the number rings. It actually, just because where the cameras are located, and it like reads the spider web as well, it knows exactly where you're pinpointing your darts, where they're going in each segment. Now I have had maybe 2 or 3 that it read it wrong, but that's because it was due to how close to the spider web it was. It thought it was on the other side, which is easy to fix as well, just like the Scolia. Also with the Omni, as soon as I go into the lobby and start warming up, I can get a game within 30 seconds. Someone will want a game. I mean, I can put it as camera only, and I can still get a game just within the 30 seconds, and I can just start playing right off the bat. Not great, because I'm still warming up and I just can't play darts anymore. But 99% of the time, there's no issue with the Omni. It does what it does, it's perfect for scoring. I don't have to worry when it comes to the Omni about is it marking the right segment for me, and I'm not having to look at the screen to make sure it's going for what it says I've hit. Whereas the Scolia, I have to double check it every time I'm throwing, because if I hit that big 3 and it's close to the treble 3, it has put it as a 9, and I don't like going, well, it's extra 6 points for me. I don't like, so I'm having to change that. But for me, I think the Omni, I know it's been like a year and a bit for it to come out, and I think the reason why it took so long is because of the software, and I think they've nailed it with the software side of it. I think for training side of it and online side of it, I think Omni is the best auto scoring system for people to use in every day. And I'll go over the prices and whatnot, because I've got some of them written down. Now, again, I am not like a guru in the experience with every detail of every system. I'm just going with my experience, and I've had the Omni for a month, I've used it for the month, I've had the Scolia 2 for the last 6 months, and I've probably used the same amount I've used the Omni, because I just get peeved off at the wrong scores and not getting games on the Scolia. Right, so we'll go over some of the stuff. So you have the Scolia Home, and then you get the Sparklight, and that price is $749. This is all on the Scolia website, so you can just double check it. You have the Scolia 2 at $699, but then you have to buy the light as well at £80, so it's $779. You also have the Pro, which is like, I've seen Connor Scott using it as well. It looks nice, but it's very expensive. It's $1399. But then you have the Flex plan, which gives you the Scolia Home and the Flex plan at $449. Then you've got the Scolia Home 2 Flex plan, which is your Scolia 2, and it's $399. Why that's cheaper, I have no idea. So like Scolia Flex plan, you've got the monthly one at $11.95, which you just pay $11.95 every month. Then you have the quarterly at $9.95, so every 3 months you're paying $29.85. Then you have the annual one at $8.95, so you're paying £107.40 a year. I'll let that sink in. Yeah, a lot of maths there. So just going with the Scolia 2 and the one that I've got is 779. That's just for everything, and you get to play the Scolia online as much as you want. It's not a plan, so you don't need to pay monthly for it. It's like the Scolia Flex plan, that's the ones that you pay monthly, but you get the system, the equipment cheaper, but again you're still paying every month. And if you think £11.95, £12 a month for 12 months, you know, it costs a lot. So it's not really cheap at all for the Flex plan. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at the Scolia system. So if you look at the Omni is $450. The Dark Counter app is $29.99 a month. So even they two alone is a lot cheaper than the Scolia side. Even with the plan nonsense, you know, the Flex plan, it is still far cheaper than the Scolia. Plus, if you are willing to spend £779 on the Scolia 2 and the Lite, then why not get yourself the Omni and the Vot? No, for the Omni and the Vot together, which is your two-way camera, that's £700 in total, which is still cheaper than the Scolia 2 and the Lite. Then obviously you're £30 for Dark Counter. So the Vot is a two-way camera. One points at you, one points at the board. I'm not saying the Vot camera is amazing. There's still a lot of issues with that, and I still get a little bit of issues with that, but it's not been as bad. And I hope Target, please figure a way to sort that out. But it's, you know, when it does mess up, it messes up. But when it works, you are free range. Everyone can see you throwing, everyone can see your board at the same time, and the Omni does the scoring for you. So you are literally having to do nothing apart from just chuck the darts. And that's one thing I like about the whole setup that I have with the Omni and the Vot, is that they know I'm not cheating because they can see me throwing my darts at the Alki line, and they can see the board at the same time. And again, you've got the Omni doing the scoring for you at the same time. So it takes away the thought of, you know, I'm hitting 26s for fun all day long, but yet there's that one throw you get 180, you know, and they go, oh, he's cheating. But that takes that equation out because they can see you throwing the dart and they know you're not cheating. So that's what I think. I think TikTok users, you know, you got the guys on TikTok who uses the Scolia all the time. That is fine because they've got that bunch of followers on it, and they get games with them, and everyone wants to play the TikTokers, and that's fine. I'm old school, I'm a YouTuber, and you also got the tournaments, which you can't get in the Omni, and you also get cash tournaments if you're into that kind of thing. I think for price, and if you are just playing darts and just want to play online and just not got a camera and that, then I'd look at the Target Omni and the Vot and just get the two. Ignore the Scolia, pay the $29.99, and you know, see all your stats and whatnot, and you've got the training on them as well. That Counter has its own little training stuff, so you can use that Counter not just for online but for training as well. You've got your ball 127 and all that nonsense. So it's just not an online system, it's a training system as well. And if you go into the lobby, you may even get a target player coming in, like Chris Dolby, Glenn Durran, you know, Adrian Lewis, all popping in, and I'll just give you a little game. So you get every now and again, not often, I wish they would, pop in and you can get a game with them as well, the target players. So again, this is, I know I'm just rambling, and it's just, I thought I'd make this video up because I'm seeing a lot of Scolia or Omni. This is my opinion, it's just my experience. I think, again, if you're just someone who's want to practice and just play folk online and just regular one-on-one games, I'd go the Omni. It's less issue, there's less hassle. I think at the beginning with the Omni, if you can check my video for the Omni, I had a little bit of connection with the Omni to my Wi-Fi, but I think everyone gets that. But once it's connected, you don't get any issues again. It's fine, there's no issue. But yeah, you just want to play folk online or just train one-on-one online and that, you know, the Omni is the way to go. It's so much easier to use, there's less issue with it, and the price as well, it's definitely value for money compared to the other one. But if you like tournaments, cash prizes, you know, maybe look at the Scolia. If you want to do TikTok as well, that's the thing. Scolia seems to be the place on TikTok, not so much the Omni, which is a shame because I think the Omni is far superior to the Scolia. Even though Scolia's been out and seems to be the OG of it, unfortunately Omni is just took that time for the software to get right and surpass, you know, the Scolia system. Yes, it's an app for the dart counter, but you can use it on websites. The Scolia is just a website based app, so you can use your phone, laptop, whatever, to as long as you've got a web browser, you can connect your Scolia to it. But again, this is all my opinion. I've just thought I'd give my 2 pence about the Scolia and Omni. For me, it has to be the Omni. I'm in 2 minds about selling my Scolia too, because I'd rather have another Omni in the garage than the Scolia, because no one plays it unless you're a TikToker on the Scolia lobby, which is a shame because there's quite a lot of people in there and I don't know why they just don't play each other. Again, Omni, I can go in 30 seconds, not even that, and I can get a game easily. So that is my opinion, guys. That is my thoughts. Go back, rewind, hit play again with the prices and whatnot and take that information in. But for me, the Omni wins every time. Yes, I got the Omni free, but that's not the reason why. I say it how it is. Even if I got the Scolia free, I'll tell them how it is because I believe in telling the truth. And if you don't like it, tough shite. There you have it, guys. Hope this video was full of information and just give you some ideas about the two. That is it from me, guys. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, turn your notifications on for more reviews and live streams, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy that, guys. Bye.